the collaborative partnership has grown in different shape and form with different UN entities, and I have found UNOPS to be one of the most competent UN entities. Every agency has a climate portfolio now, and I know this very well because as the head of the Environment Management Group of the UN that brings together all the 51 agencies, funds and programs, the challenge always was finding common ground. And the reason I consider them one of the most competent UN entities is that they're not driven by a mandate. Their success is based on how others achieve their mandate. And so there's no conflict of interest, there's no role confusion, and that's what makes them a phenomenal partner to have. We are signing this MoU, and which would be the beginning of an extraordinary partnership.
I am really delighted that today we'll sign the MoU with GASP. I really like the model that GASP is using. And what brought a lot of certainty and security or surety for me was the membership and the leadership of the organization. So today we're talking about a world in crisis, actually. The world is in disarray. It's not moving in the right direction. But there are committed people and committed parties, and you have been able to bring 300 of them together. We are an agency that does things, that implements, and that supports policymakers. So I think here we have a good combination between ourselves and GASP. Having an organization in between such as GASP really brings a lot of security for us. And having a partnership with GASP is really valuable.
Our collaboration originated from a shared commitment to address, pressing environmental and social issues that Asia and Pacific region facing today. Recognizing the diverse and very unique challenges both within urban and rural areas as, of course, well as our natural environments, the MoU gives us an avenue to ensure that no community is left behind in our joint mission for sustainable development. This collaboration is really pivotal in facilitating global exchanges, specifically capitalizing on GASP scientific research to devise very practical solutions for sustainable infrastructure, climate resilience, and ecosystem preservation.
So like three very climate-oriented projects currently we are implementing in the India, and I'm glad that today we are signing the MoU with the GASP, and I look forward to translate this MoU in the practice, in the field, and in the implementation.
I'm sure it will bring a real focus and also implementation and execution of green transition in India. And just one word, which is I started off that India is perhaps the only country in the world history which has to grow exponentially and also to reduce its carbon footprint at the same time. And there is no option for it. There is no alternative for it.
UNOPS is what he called mandate agnostic, but you're not purpose agnostic. And I would say the same for GASP, because even though the programs are being formed in our minds as we speak, and of course, water and agriculture no doubt have to be on top of that list, but that's not a mandate, that's a purpose. So that leads to impact. So in that sense, the other commonality is that you seek impact because through effective project management and project oversight, and through effective handling of programs that are mandated by others, you enable them to happen. And I think that's pretty much where GASP, I think, plugs in very nicely into your net. Hope we can steer a world in which we truly measure what matters. Not only private profits for shareholders and not only GDP for nations, but everything else as well, which is part of our well-being, but is not being measured.
Right now, GASP is a 300 large partner organization and growing rapidly with, was rightly said before, with a common purpose of making sure that the society or the sort of earth is better off than it was yesterday. Right? That's the common purpose that I think Satya is driving and all of us are sort of part of it. I'm assuming with the UNOPS partnership, that impact and the leverage that we can have will be much more than what it is today, right? And that's the value or incremental value every single partner brings to the organization.
by telling the truth and by showing the fact that if India does not get fixed, the climate crisis cannot be fixed. So we've managed to invest in about 14 great companies. All of our companies are top of their game.